August was my 10-year anniversary owning a garage door business that I started when I was 20 years old.
Wow, good for you.
We will hit $1 million in sales this year.
Wow.
So my question I need to hire help, but I don't know how much help I can afford.
Yeah, you do.
Right now. Well, right now it's me, and my dad helps me 2 days a week.
Okay.
And
So you made $1 million top line. What was your profit?
Well, with my wage, we're going to make about $300,000 net.
Okay. So what's it take to hire a tech?
Well, how
much does a tech cost in North Platte, Nebraska to put on a garage door work?
Most techs around here make between $18 and $25 an hour.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
So you need $40,000.
Yeah.
You got $300,000.
Right. I want to make it a career for them.
Good.
Does that make sense? You know, I want them to make a decent living.
Okay. You're not trying to pay them $100,000.
Right.
And you're going to pay them about market rate with some cool bonuses or something. That's another $4,000 or $5,000 that keep them really juicy and happy, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking $40,000, $45,000 out of your $300,000. What's the problem?
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure I'm not giving away too much of the profits, I guess.
Well, you got $250,000 left.
Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of it is I'm getting to the point where I can't do it all by myself.
Right. It's not fun. You're a treadmill. You're stuck on the treadmill.
Yeah.
If you take a vacation, there's no money.
Right.
You get hurt, there's no money.
Yep. And if I hire one, I basically need to hire two because I need to get out of the field.
Well, let's start with one.
So far behind. Right. Well, see, we've had one, and that lasts about 2 or 3 or 4 months, and then they leave.
Why?
They get fired, and we can't find the help we need.
Let's see, you just not because the idea was bad, but you just hired the wrong people.
Right.
Yeah, hiring people is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm learning that
because most people, they're not worth it. Just because you hire somebody doesn't mean they get it. No, your hiring process is the first few people you hire in business that stay. I mean, if you build your first team of 5 people, that's the hardest hiring you'll ever do in your life. I've got 1,100 now, and our hiring's fairly easy, but we still go through all kinds of hell just to get the right people. Because you're trying to figure out who's a donkey and who's a thoroughbred, and you don't want any donkeys. You've had those and they leave. Or worse than that, they stay and don't do nothing.
Right.
And so what you're looking for somebody who's a stud and that cares, and you can pay them some profit sharing or something that's worth $4,000 or $5,000 on top of what the typical tech makes. And you keep talking about, hey man, you're part of the family and you take good care of them, and you if there's something going on with their family, you help them. I mean, you treat them like family, right? If you get a good one. Yeah. But you can't just hire somebody just because they can turn a wrench. They got to turn a wrench and have some character.
Yeah, be personable. And
you got to hang out with them. And plus, they're your customers that you've worked so hard to get are going to see them.
Right.
And, I had a heat and air guy come to our house the other day, and this guy made me want to do business with this heat and air company the rest of my life. He was such a great representation of that company.
Well, that's what makes me so nervous.
Yeah.
Been doing this for 10 years now. That's always been my biggest fear is getting the job done the right way.
Yeah.
And keeping people happy. And
so you got to bring them on, and you got to talk about that while you're bringing them on, before you bring them on, and after they're on. And you go over there and go, this is got my name on it, and I'm concerned about this, and you got to treat this like you own it, and you got to care. You're not an employee, you're a team member. You're not here to mail it in and see how little work you can do. Your job is make the customer smile. Make them glad they heard of Shane. That's your job.
Right.
That heat and air guy, I don't know his name, but I know his company name. And I'm really glad they came to my house.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he ran into a problem he didn't know how to fix. He got on the phone, got online, searched around, found a manual, figured it out, got it working, you know? And I'm like, this guy's a stud.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? And, you know, but you're
really
going to, listen, that's 1 or 2 out of 10 people. So you're going to interview a lot of people and turn them away because you're going to hear, yeah, you're going to tell they're a donkey. Yeah. You're going to hear it in the interview. All they're there is for what they can get rather than what they can give. I want people that add value, not are parasites.
So I have a question with that is, so if I hire one and have them ride with me, you know, and we work like crazy, you know, the problem I've had in the past is that same employee hears me. I'm terrible, but I talk about money a lot in the truck. And, you know, that's why I said before, if I hire one,
what does he hear? What's he hearing? What are you hearing you talk about?
Well, you know, we talk like, because I do everything. So we answer the phones, we take calls, we do everything. So they hear me talk to customers, they hear me price things, they hear me.
What's wrong with that?
Well, they start to get that attitude. And
what attitude?
You know, geez, he's charging that much, and I'm only getting paid this much, and you know what I'm saying.
Well, let's cover that on the front end. Like when you're interviewing, you go, okay, I think we got something going here. This might work, but you need to keep in mind when you come to work here that you're going to be hearing all the pricing and everything, and I own the business. You don't.
Right.
You don't. And so if I make more than you, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's how this whole thing works. And if you're not okay with that, let's go ahead and settle that now before you start to work, because I'd rather you not be here.
Just be upfront about it.
Yeah. So I've got a lady that is our controller here, and she's in our accounting department, and she's been here almost 30 years.
Yeah.
She sees what everyone in the building makes because she used to run the payroll.
Right.
A whole bunch of them make more than she does. That's a recipe for jealousy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So guess what? Before I hired her, and actually she was an old friend before we hired her, and she's still a family friend. But before we hired her, I said, "Hey, you're going to see some numbers here, and I'm making really good money, and some of our other leaders are making really good money, and can you handle that emotionally and spiritually, or are you going to kind of start to think that somehow you caused this?"
Yeah, that's what I don't want to cause any resentment.
Exactly. So I just talk about it up front. You know what?
Yeah.
I've had one discussion with her in almost 30 years about this. One. Before I hired her.
Yeah.
And she said, I can handle it. And she's handled it. If she didn't handle it and started acting all jealous, I'd just fire her butt. Get another one. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be quite that way, but I mean, that's the bottom line. I'm not going to keep someone that's looking at all of our payroll and mad about it all the time.
Yeah.
That'd be silly. And that's exactly the same thing you're worried about, is they think they're that. So you're worried about a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. If this guy you're interviewing could run $1 million business doing garage doors, he already would be.
Yeah.
You're the one that knows how to do that, not him.
Right.
So his job is not to run the business. That's your job. His job is to put the garage door up.
Right.
Just tell him that.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you're gonna hear what the pricing is on this stuff, and you're gonna be filling out the tickets with me and all that stuff. But obviously, we make more at the company than you do. That's how we're able to pay you. If that's going to be a problem for you, then we don't need to go forward. But really, it's not a problem for most people. It's more in your head than it is theirs, Shane.
Right.
Most people know the company they work for makes more money than they do. Most people get that because they know that the company wouldn't be able to make payroll otherwise. It's kind of common sense. So I think you're fine. I think you just haven't had enough confidence yet to lead people in this thing. And if you want to get out of this ditch that you're in, stuck on the treadmill, you're going to have to add a tech, get them trained over 6 months, and then add another tech, get them trained over 6 months, and then you're going to go from $1 million to $2 million, and you're going to quit doing garage door work yourself. You're going to have techs doing it. And then you're going to add an office person to help you with the accounting and order taking and phone answering, so you're not doing it in the truck. and then you're going to go to 3 million. And that's how this works. But if you keep doing this by yourself, you're going to stay right where you are. You're going to be stuck because you have a logistical bottleneck. You can't go any faster than you're going right now, the way you've got this staffed. So you're a good dude, man. You've done a good job so far. Time to take the next step and level up.